is the willow frame that we've constructed. Initially we stuck the willow into the ground, and then we bent over these rods, wove in willow around the frame, and the final stage, just to secure all the willow in place, is to take rawhide lashings, and we're going to finish off some of these lashing points which holds the whole frame together. Fleshed the hides, then we've limed them for about 2 weeks, which helps open up the hair follicles and allows us to remove the hair. And now we're at the stage where we've soaked it, and then we're going to cut lashings for lashing together the coracle with it. So this is the part of the process where we're cutting the strips out, which we're going to lash the coracle together with. Traditionally they'd probably use a knife, but today we're using scissors just so we've got a bit more of an accurate cut, so we're wasting less of the material. And we've trimmed the edge off as well, just so we've got a nice straight cut to work from.
So here we're just stretching the lashings out so that it's nice and taut, and it thins it out, makes it nice and strong for when we're tying it.
And this stage just takes all the tension out of the hide. Otherwise, if you didn't stretch it, your lashings would become slack. And in some cultures, these sort of activities were like games, basically, as it like test of strength to see who could pull it the hardest.
Good on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Just stretch.
So we find this method works quite well, using a stick to kind of lever it up onto the willow rod. We suspect they potentially used some sort of tool like this in the past, but it's something we've just discovered from just practicing and doing it.
It's a whole lot harder without it.
Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Yep.
Cowhide is surprisingly tough when you're trying to cut it and get it onto stakes. That's good.
So as the hide basically tightens and dries, it basically clamps the whole thing together. So it really tensions and pulls on all the willow frame. Without it, you've not really got that kind of clamp that goes around. So traditionally they would even use hides, like raw hide, as a clamp, because as it dries it tightens. Like as a drum tightens, actually it's not the wooden frame that gives it structure, it's the hide as it tightens up that basically pulls everything in.
It's important to cut the excess off, because this is all the extra weight that you really don't want on the boat. The hide's actually the heaviest part. Most people think it's the frame, but the willow is actually very light. It's the hide that's the heavy part. So just cutting this excess off cuts down a lot of weight that you don't want. And we can use these scraps for other projects. This is the second stage for securing the hide to the gunnels. So where we've attached it onto the willow here, we then pierce holes, and like Peter's doing, we can then lash that down onto the gunnels just to secure it, to make it stronger. And as the rawhide lashings dry, that helps secure it all onto the frame as well, and just make the boat stronger. Yeah, watch yourself on splinters on that seat as well. That would be nasty. So this is the J stroke, not very well demonstrated by myself. That allows you to move forward in a coracle, reaching forward, and you're not getting in the way of the sides, and you can have all your fishing kit in the back still. We know coracles definitely go back to the Bronze Age in Scotland, as there's a burial in Fife where the body was buried, they believe, in a coracle. And later on in the Roman era, there is a reference to the Scots and the Picts leaping forth from their coracles to raid south. So we know it's an ancient vessel in Scotland, and we know from constructing them that it doesn't require a great deal of skill to build. So they are the everyday man's vessel. Let's go for a paddle.